Hi, and thank you for joining me for this audiogram discussion. I'm going to be presenting an audiogram and describing some of its key components. The patient for this audiogram is a 70-year-old, and with that comes some pretty unique and also characteristic configurations. So before any audiogram is performed, it's custom that we must first do a tympanometry and an otoscopy. So the results of those were normal, and if you were to look at the tympanometry itself, you would notice that there's a sharp peak at 0. What this tells us is that there's no conductive loss or middle ear pathology itself. Moving on to the audiogram, you can immediately tell that the configuration is sharply sloping. You can tell that through the way that both are kind of tapering downwards. Beyond that, you're able to see that it's a pretty bilateral loss. So the left and the right ears are matching up to each other almost identically in most of the different hertz and frequency levels. Beyond that, you're able to see that there is a high match between the PTA and the SRT, which is typical. So for the SRT, for the right and for the left, we derived 30. Now, once the PTA, the pure tone average, was calculated, those values were very similar. We had a PTA at the right side of around 32 and the left side of 30, which matches perfectly with what is presented here. The degree is very severe, and that is because the values are dropping down quite low. Most of them in the later end are between 70 and 90, which determines a severe loss, which is something that we would like to be able to take care of sooner rather than later. The type of loss is sensory neural, and that's because these are matched very closely to each other. So what this might be able to tell us is that this patient is presenting with presbycusis. Presbycusis is a pretty natural phenomena that happens, and it is due to the aging of the auditory system. So as people become older, they lose some high frequency hearing abilities, and thus are resulting in some sensory neural loss. Thank you.